Hello everyone, my name is Krista and welcome to my channel. Today's video it's about communicative learning skills. And for me, I think this is going to be an interesting topic. We could be talking for hours about this subject because there are so many learning skills in education. And students, they are all so very different one from another. This means that it doesn't matter if the amount of students we have is big or is small, they all are going to develop a different skill. And we have to be very careful how we manage this with them. So we have to work in the skill they are already good, and we have to work harder in the ones they don't. Yes, there are a lot of learning skills, but in communication, for me, there are four. There are the most important ones, and the ones we have to work harder and develop with our students. And they are the productive and the receptive skills, or the receptive and the productive skills. And if at this point you are not related with these two, this is the right video for you. So continue with me the lesson and you will learn a little bit more about them. So first, I would like to focus on the receptive skills. The receptive skills are listening and reading. And they are called the input skills. And this is because learners do not need to produce language to do this. They receive and understand it. These skills are sometimes known as passive skills, but they can be contrasted with the productive or active skills of speaking and writing. We have a little spoiler here of the other two, but let's continue. Let's focus on the receptive skills. For me, there are a few words here that we could call them keywords to understand why we call the receptive skills to the skills of listening and reading. And the keyword for me is, or the keywords for me are, learners do not need to produce language to do this. So they are called receptive because we don't produce them, we receive them. This means they already exist. They already there. So they are there to, we interpretate the words, interpretate the sounds, interpretate with the readings, the words we have there, the images, and we receive the information, analyze it, and get with the good, or when we think the thing is going to be very valuable for us and for our learning process. This is pretty clear for me now, but what can we do to encourage or to apply the receptive skills with our students? And I would like to share a few tips and for making our reading and listening lessons more interesting for the students. I mean, this will make your receptive skills classes shine. And one thing we can do is encourage learners to read for enjoyment rather than just for study. I mean, this is very basic. Students get bored very, very fast when they know they are going to learn something new in school. But we teachers have the responsibility of make the classes much more interesting. So we can look for things that students are interested in to make them feel like they they are loving the class, and they will be learning without noticing. In reading, we could avoid reading word for word. Instead, read an entire chunk and identify contextual clues to establish meaning of words they don't know. That would be very helpful for the reading, because the class won't be the same as always are. Like, let's read this word, let's translate this word, what is the meaning of this word. No, we will read like the whole story we give them, and we will look they will look for the words they don't know, but they also will they analyze the text they're reading. Another thing that is very cool to do is make predictions before reading or listening. Doing so activates what is already known about the topic. This made me remind a class I had a few days ago. The teacher was about to show us a video, and the video had a cover picture, and she asked us to what we think was the video about, and we started to drop ideas. Each student said something totally different from the other, and others said something similar from others, and at the end we got to a conclusion, and that was very enriching for the class. That was very cool for us. We practiced our listening while we were listening to our classmates' ideas, and we also practiced the reading by reading an image. And this kind of simple exercise make the class very interested in 1 minute. I mean, the student's attention will be with us. And last but not least, the tip I would like to share with you, and this is for my own experience, it will be practice, and practice. And this will make you learn anything you want. And to beef up a little bit the information I already gave you, I would like to share with you a few activities you could practice with your students to work in their productive skills learning. Activities are a very important tool for teachers nowadays. Students, they don't like to learn if they know that they are going to learn. So if we use activities, we can distract them for them to be focused in the game, and for us to be focused on the learning. The first activity I chose is called Fill the blanks, sorry. And that is precisely what the activity is about. So we give them a piece of paper with a story on it, and they have missing words. So we also give them the missing words here in the frames, but they are unscrambled there. So they have to fill the blanks with the missing words. But we also are going to use an audio to read this, to make them to listen the story, and this is how they are practicing their writing and the listening skill at the same time. This activity will take us a considerable time, because yes, first we have to listen the audio, and then we will ask the students try to read, follow the reading, and then we will ask the students if they don't understand a word, and we have to make all clear before they start the activity per se, because they have to be prepared to make or to fill the blanks by their own, without any teacher's help during they are already working on the activity. The activity number 2 is follow the reading, and in this case we give them a piece of paper with a story on it, and we are going to make them listen the story and to read them the story at the same time. So with this they are going to be listening and reading, and they also have to analyze the text in this part. This activity will help us to make the students, to force the student listen carefully and analyze the text while they are reading. Okay, I think I have been pretty clear with the receptive skills. So the next thing to do is talk about the productive skills. The productive skills are speaking and writing, and they are called the output skills. And they are called productive skills because learners doing this need to produce the language. They are also known as active skills, and they can be compared with the receptive skills or listening and reading. So I think these are the opposite of the ones we saw first of our receptive skills, because in this case we are the ones who are producing these skills. We speak, so we have to produce, we have to think, what are we going to say? We write, we are the ones who are creating the writing. So in this case, that's why they call output, because it's from us to the world. Okay, that was pretty easy to explain, but for me, these two are the hardest one, because I mean, yes, writing is hard. You have to know a lot of rules. You have to know about grammar. You have to know about punctuations and stuff. And it is pretty hard. I mean, this is a personal experience, and grammar it turns out very difficult for me. So it can be very difficult for students too. But the big deal here is with speaking, because speaking is not only that we have to know grammar or things, but this takes courage, because most of us are very afraid to speak the language we don't know. I mean, our native language is pretty different from English. So when we have to speak, it's obvious that we are going to have an accent, or we are going to be slower, or our pronunciation is going to be pretty weird. But we have to work with the students to lose the fear to speak and to express what are they thinking, and to put in order their ideas and make sense of what their mouth is going to say. And yes, it's important to work on pronunciation, but do not demand a native speaker pronunciation. I mean, that's silly. People will understand me. In my case, people understand me even if I have like mistakes, and that's how I start to lose a little bit the fear to speak in English. It's important to be sensitive when we are correcting oral mistakes, and we have to be very cheerful with them when they do something right, to make them feel that they are really that their effort is worth. And also it's important to